Howdy. To all you patriots out there, howdy. Now, welcome to the show. We got about 3 minutes before takeoff. So buckle up, strap in, because it's going to be a bumpy road tonight. Make sure you hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. Real quick, if you are checking out the show from somewhere, please let me know and let me know you can hear me, okay? Because, see, I don't want to waste my breath. So I see some people that have logged in. Let me make sure. Okay, all right. I see somebody said, welcome to the live chat. I don't see anybody chatting back, though. Let me try something to make sure the chat's up and running. All right, let's see. Because I can't live without the chat. Somebody said, what's up from Georgia? Yeah. Okay, wait, I'm about to say hi to myself. Hi, Kev. What you up to? Uh-huh. Okay, that's me right there. Oh, yeah. Stop and think about it. I like that guy. I like that guy. He's my number one fan. He's my number one fan. Anyway, I see you guys chiming in. We got Florida in the house. We got people chiming in from all over the place. What's going on? I hope your week is going well and your weekend goes better. Now, let's get these things out the way so we can jump right in, knee deep into this garbage that's going on around us, the country. So first things first, that phone number. I just looked at the device that I use to send messages out to everybody. And that number is 330-974-4607. And I see people are texting into that number. So I got to respond to all of y'all who texted MAGA to that number. If you text MAGA to that number, then I'll be able to stay in touch with you just in case they try to unexist me. Okay. Secondly, I also have been noticing people that are helping with my little fundraising project. And the link is below this video and any of the other last super chats, whereas this is up for a $5 donation and it resets every month. And you have the option to participate in it. But if you participate in the super chat, I don't mind that either. It's just letting you know, just in case YouTube start tripping. I can't insure your money. Okay, this is one bank that can't insure your investment. I'm sorry, because I'm working with a third party. But a sure way to support the channel and offset some of the censorship and the suppression and all that garbage is to directly support me through this monthly fundraiser that I'm gonna do for a while until I can figure out something. The link is right below this video. Like I said, never go broke trying to help me out. But of course, if you can spare it, donate to that link right there. Great. I got the regular links to like Zelle and my regular PayPal and all of that stuff. But those who have been contributing, thank you very, 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 very much. Seriously, y'all. Now, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and all that good stuff. So let's get into some things that we're going to be talking about tonight. But first I got to get loose, man. Oh, yeah, it's Friday night. We might as well have some fun. That's what I like real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, guys, we got a situation coming up in 2024. No, I won't say us. We do too, but the Democrats have a big one. They got a dilemma. They have a little pickle that they're caught up in, and that is creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. Now, like I always say, sometimes you get what you deserve. They stuck this guy in there knowing that he was a couple marbles short, and now he's up there stinking it up. Not only is he stinking it up, but the guy got a backup quarterback that sucks. How you gonna bring in a backup quarterback that sucks? You can't even put the backup quarterback in the game. That's how bad the backup quarterback sucks. So they're now trying to figure out what to do with Joe. And they see all the polls coming in that is, letting everybody know that we don't want Joe. They letting them know they don't want Joe. The people that are Democrats are saying we don't want Joe. And of course, the Republicans definitely don't want Joe. And minorities don't want Joe. So Joe is very unpopular right now amongst a large population of our society. And the Democrats got a dilemma because if Joe go down, if he blow a knee out in the middle of the game, What they gonna do? Are they gonna be like, all right, Joel's down. Let's get his Chameleon. Chameleon, are you ready? Are you loose? You think Chameleon's gonna get in there and throw some passes? You think she gonna score a couple touchdowns? No. That chick right there lose yards. Give away points, throw interceptions every single time she throws the ball. Don't know the count. Don't know how to take a snap. Nothing. She's a bunch of crap. So now they got to figure out what to do with her. Now, this is what happens, though. When you focus and build your whole campaign slash operating mode around identity politics, you have a hard time getting rid of the, how should I say it, token whatever you put in place. Because you built the whole, theme around that person. Look at us, we're diverse. We got black folks, we got midgets, we got aborigines, we got, look at that, I don't know what that guy is, he's a giant. We got everybody over here. But when you have to get rid of one of those people, and yet you've been demonizing everybody for saying that person's garbage, how do you do it? So let's see what come up with. Here we go.
That vision, he knows why he wants to be president and is president. He has knowledge of the issues and therefore judgment to be respected and wisdom.
Now, do you see this right there? You see bag of bones, monkey paw hands, mush mouth, nasty Pelosi. She activated that monkey paw right away. That's right, as a form of distraction, so that while she's talking about Joe, you can't focus. No, you have to look at the monkey paw going every which way. And then you look at that mush mouth just moving. Wait, though. You know how I get started. Oh, yes, that's good, nasty. What? Oh, no, this isn't vodka. This is my medicine. That's right. Now, back to Joe Biden. He has a vision, and he's wise, and all of this stuff.
So let's hear her try to sell us Joe Biden. Now, understand, she's not selling us a product that we haven't sampled. She ain't selling us something that we haven't had a chance to take it for a spin. We know he backfires. We know the wheels all messed up while we driving down the road. We know the air condition don't work. We know all of that mess. And here she is trying to sell us a lemon that we already done test drove.
He brings to the table.
So why is there such concern among a lot of Democrats about him?
Well, I travel a bit in those circles of Democrats, nationally and politically, and while there may be some concerns, everybody's for him.
Everybody's for him? Now, the man just said it was some concern. What did she say? Maybe she don't read those polls. Or is she just trying to get out there and say things and say, well, just because I said it, that must mean it's true. See, don't forget, this is the same woman.
You know what? No, I'm not apologizing. No, for what? If anything, I deserve an apology. Because I was set up. They should be apologizing for me.
Now, this is the same woman who straight up looked in the camera and said that. Now she's up here telling us that everybody's for him. But all of those polls are saying, oh, my brother, you got to keep your own. See, that's what those polls are saying. But here she is, she first of all, she's running it back at 102. She got a little more faculties than Creepy Sleepy, and she's in self-preservation mode. So now she got to pimp herself out in her 80s to try to stay involved so she don't go to jail if Trump wins. However, now she's trying to gaslight us about Joe's popularity. Everybody's for him.
Overwhelmingly, everybody's for him.
Do you think there's any chance he does not continue running?
I hope not. I mean, this president...
David Ignatius recently came out saying he thinks the former president should not run.
Yeah.
See? In fact, I don't think the former president will run. Joe right now is hanging on by a thread. He's living on a prayer. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, whoa, yeah. Living on a prayer. That's what he's doing. He's living on a prayer. So you got a guy right now whose popularity is in the tank. His mind is in the tank. And now he's about to have an impeachment inquiry launched on him, which I don't even know why we're going through that unnecessary step. We should have jumped right into impeachment. No warm-ups. When I played all the way up to college football, all through college football, never stretched, hated to jog and warm up because I had fresh legs. Yeah, I knew, man, I'm not going to pull a hamstring. All right, I'm ready to go and coach right away. I might be able to jump out the bed and go straight to a full sprint when I was young. But now, I might need some warm-ups, a lot of warm-ups. But in this case, we don't need no warm-ups. We don't need to be stretching, talking about, coach, we're going to take a lap real quick. No, get right in there and go to work. Right now, we got enough evidence to jump right in his grill, off grip. But hey, they want to do a warm-up for some reason. And now here she is trying to sell us on, I hope not. No, you hope this dude don't run, because there is no way in heck you're going to drag him again across a finish line in this condition. He's worse off now than he was when y'all drug him across the first time.
Yeah, so that's one. And he also said he shouldn't run because he allowed me to go to Taiwan. Nobody allows me to do anything.
Oh,
I was Speaker of the House, and the invitation came from the Taiwan government for me to go there. It wasn't up to David Ignatius.
Is President Kamala Harris the best running mate?
Anderson Pooper, what are you doing? You can't ask nasty questions like that. Now, somebody said I'm buffering already. Get out of here, man. And I'm on the Wi-Fi, too. Please say it ain't so. Let me look over here and see what's going on here. Make sure I ain't buffering over here. Maybe I got too many devices hooked up on the Wi-Fi. I'm going to come off I'm going back to the network. That's what I'm about to do. See what happens. All right, now give it a second. Somebody said fine here. See, this is the problem with the buffering. Sometimes I think it's individual people who might have problems with the buffering. And then I go fiddling with stuff, and then next thing you know, it's all messed up. So somebody said voice issues. It might have had voice issues because I just switched over to the Wi-Fi. So let's see, not buffering on my end. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting a thumbs up from a lot of people now. Now I just turned the Wi-Fi off. I want to make sure I'm still clear. Clear as a bell. Oh man. Okay, let's do it. So if you're buffering, just reset or something like that, and maybe that'll take care of it. All right. Now, getting back to Nasty Pelosi. Now, Anderson Pooper got the nerve to come in and ask her a question about Chameleon Harris. Let's see how she answers this.
He thinks so, and that's what matters.
Oh.
And by the way,
Well, wait a minute. What about you, Nasty? What about you? What do you feel about that Chameleon? That's what I want to know.
So he thinks so. But then, by the way, let me change the subject because I don't want to have to comment on how garbage she is.
That's what she really wants to do. So here she is. Hey, it ain't up to Nasty. If Joe thinks so, which you know Joe don't think at all. You think Joe picked Kamala Harris as his running mate? The lady who got up there on stage and called this man what he really is, a segregationist. So you think he called her up like, hey, Chameleon, thanks for embarrassing me and exposing me on stage. But I was wondering if you could run with me for my... You know he didn't do that. These people picked her for identity politics and wokeness, slung her in there, and now she's garbage, worse off than they thought. And now she's blaming it on Joe.
Well, he thinks so. And by the way, let me change the subject.
she's very politically astute. I don't think people give her enough credit.
Why would we? We've seen her handiwork. We've seen her over there in Ukraine. I'm here in Europe. What is this, South or East Europe? What? Is this Ukraine? What? We're not in Syria? Oh, okay. Well, we've seen her handiwork. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see the moon with our own eyes. With our own eyes. So here she is talking about she's very savvy. She's very good at what she does as a politician.
She's, of course, values-based, consistent with the president's values and the rest. And people don't understand, she's politically stupid. Why would she be vice president?
Did she say politically stupid?
People don't understand. She's politically stupid. Why wouldn't she be?
What do you mean, why wouldn't she be? She's politically stupid.
If she were not. But when she was...
And she wouldn't be vice president if she were not. No, she wouldn't be vice president if she wasn't a woman and a woman of color. That's why. You think they checked her credentials? Understand how ridiculous this makes sense. Or should I say, don't make sense. This woman ran for president and got smashed early. That would be like me coming to the training camp to go out for the NFL. And the first event there, all right, we are going to start off with the 40-yard dash. Come on up, you first. And I run like a 10-second flat in the 40. And they cut me before I even go to the next. No shuttle runs, no high jumps, no bench press, nothing. They're like, all right, man, you're done. Get out of here. You just ran the slowest 40 in the whole history of the combines. Scram. But then somehow when it comes down to the draft, they're up here talking about something. We pick this guy who ran the slowest 40, who never made it through the whole. That's what happened to her. She stunk that badly in the beginning to where she got booted and didn't even win her own state. But somehow, after all of that, they should have known she was unpopular with that. If you can't win your own state, after all of that, they still decide we're going to draft Kamala Harris first round. Are you kidding me? But now here she is.
She's very studious as a politician.
She's running for Attorney General in California. She had 6% in the polls. 6% in the polls. And she politically astutely made her case about why she would be good, did her politics, and became Attorney General. So people should.
Now see that's a grain of salt right now. Learning all of the shenanigans that go on in liberal states and cities, you don't really know who won. I mean, it might come down to who's the most corrupt. Who do they think they can use the best? I mean, they can circumvent their own people. Look what happened to old poor Bernie Sanders. What happened to him? The 1%. He was a Democrat, and they stuck it to him. I mean, look at RFK, sticking it to him. So just because she won in that state, we don't know. At this point, I don't trust any of their elections, any of them. So she's talking about, well, look at that. She was at 6%, and somehow that's a problem. If she was at 6% and somehow you made a last minute surge to win, are you kidding me? That's a big bunch of numbers to overcome. We're down 60 points. 3 minutes left on the clock, guys. We can do this. Somehow they've managed to come back and win 61-60 when they were losing 60-0 with 3 minutes left on the clock. And then you find out the refs the whole time was like, all right, foul. All right, put them on the 1 line. Put them on the 1 yard line. See, we don't know what's going on in these cities. So now she's trying to tout out this amazing comeback by Chameleon. Now, I don't see what the big hubbub is about her. She ain't never done nothing right. Never done nothing right. So let's hear what she has to finish saying about Chameleon besides I support her.
Shouldn't underestimate what Kamala Harris brings to the table.
Ooh.
But do you think she is the best running mate, though?
Oh, my gosh. Anderson Pooper won't leave it alone. He want to get a confession out of Nasty. Do you, not Joe, do you think she's the best running mate?
She's the vice president of the United States. So when people say to me, well, why isn't she doing this or that? I said, because she's the vice president. That's the job description. You don't do that much. You're a source of strength, inspiration, intellectual resource, and the rest. I think she's represented our country very well at home and abroad.
You think so? Now, how is Nancy coming to this conclusion? First of all, she's talking about what
She's the vice president of the United States.
Now, Joe Biden's president, and he sucks. I mean, do titles really matter in the Democrat Party? They're not going off of productivity. I really think their scale is based on evil and corruption.
How evil is she? Yes, I'll see her now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll interview some people who's absolutely evil and corrupt.
Oh, that's right. We need an evil, corrupt president. Who's the most corrupt of all? Joe Biden? Bring him in.
So now, she's talking about, well, she was the vice president. So what? She's a vice president for nothing. Even the things that she described, the small little things that they gave her to do, she dropped the ball. Wide open in the end zone. Arms open. Hey, coach, I'm ready. I'm open. Threw the ball and boop, right off the chest. And here she is talking about something.
Well, she doesn't have much to do. Her role is just support and all of that stuff.
What about that border? Isn't she still technically our border czar?
If you're that old in a second term, the vice presidency becomes even more important.
There's Liz. Pocahontas. Y'all see her right there? So let's see what Liz has to say about her, because she's a Democrat too, right? I'm sure she's going to love Chameleon.
Kamala Harris be his choice at second time around?
I really want to defer to what makes Biden comfortable on his team. I've known Kamala for a long time. I like Kamala. I knew her back when she was an attorney general, and I was still teaching.
Thank you.
And we worked on the housing crisis together. So we go way back. But
you're not answering the question, Pocahontas. So now Liz Warren, she's doing the same thing Nasty did.
Well, Joe Biden thinks so.
So now, when in doubt, instead of answering the question directly, just defer it out to Joe Biden. Well, as long as he thinks so, it ain't up to me. And then say some moderately nice things about the person so you don't get labeled a racist, a sexist, hating black folks. I'm leaving that up to Joe Biden. But I mean, I do know her. I met her once, and she's a nice person. I do like her. But what you're not doing is you're not saying, yeah, I do think she'd make a great running mate. She's done wonderful things. I support her. Because once you say that, you're on record. You're on record. But so here she's doing what Nasty just did.
They have to be a team, and my sense is they are. I don't mean that by suggesting I think there are any problems.
Democrats, man.
They're talking about
seniors.
what you would do.
Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Let's see what Chameleon's about. It's her time, y'all. It's her time to shine. Let's go ahead, man. Joe went down for a second. Send in the backup. Let's see how she does in this interview, y'all. Here we go. This could be our next presidente.
As president, as being a risk. They're honing in on you.
Why?
Why do you think that is? How do you respond to those attacks? That's not about policy. That's about you.
Listen, this is not new. There's nothing new about that. They feel the need to attack because they're scared that.
Do you hear that? Yes, they're honing in on me, not because I suck, can't put together a coherent sentence. Look like I'm drunk half the time, got the giggles all the time. It's not because of that. No, it's because they're afraid of me. No, it's because you have given them a plethora of reasons to criticize you. How about you grab that big fat mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the raggediest of them all? And it'll say, you, Chameleon, you. I can't even believe you would ask that question. You know who it is. Playing dumb. So here she is talking about it's because they're scared. What? Are you serious, man? That's like a kindergartner coming up to me like, yeah, you scared of me, ain't you? Yeah, you better run. I'll be like, what the heck? Are you talking to me, kid? Yeah, you. I would be like, man, what are you talking about? You're lucky I don't hit kids. Smack you right across your face. Send you on to your parents. So here she's talking about, it's because they're scared. That's what it is, y'all.
We will win based on the merit of the work that Joe Biden and I.
That merit sucks. It's not because we're scared that you would win based on the merit of. No, we've seen the merit. Only thing we're worried about is that you would cheat. That's what we're worried about. Winning, I am not worried. I am 100% confident that no matter who the Democrats put up there against Trump, if they had a real legitimate election in every state, we would smash their opponent. Not only in our states, but there's a good chance that we might pick off a couple liberal states too. So here she is, though, saying it's because they're afraid we're going to win. No, we're just afraid you're going to cheat.
And our administration is done.
But even Democrats are worried about the president's age. The Wall Street Journal had a poll showing 2/3 of Democrats say Joe Biden is too old to run again. Are you prepared to be commander-in-chief?
Yes, I am, if necessary.
What?
But Joe Biden is going to be fine. And let me tell you something.
What?
I work with Joe Biden every day.
Now, do you think she really believes what she just said in both of those statements? Yes, I am. What are you saying, Chameleon? You know you're not. You didn't even get here legitimately. Wow, you're the biggest chameleon of them all. And here I am right now changing colors for this interview. I'm adapting. I know I'm lying. I know that. Yes. I mean, the only reason I became the DA in California was because I was sleeping with, let me get back. Okay. Yes, I am. And what else was the question? Okay. Yeah. Oh, and let me tell you something. I work with Joe Biden every day. And wait a minute, Chameleon, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. You're being a chameleon because I know that Joe sucks because I work with him every day. That man can't even hold a sentence either. What? Okay. Oh, yes. Come on, Chameleon. Suck it up. Do the right thing. Now, yes, I work with Joe Biden every day.
Meanwhile,
he's a lying dog face.
That Joe Biden?
There was a lot of lying dog face.
Lying dog pony face.
About global warming.
Global warming.
All of a sudden, I realized it's a problem. And it's nothing like seeing the light.
Are you taking?
Because he's a creep. Yeah. This dude right there up there with that soft voice could be because he's in creep mode, or could be because he just don't have the volume anymore, the energy, because he's sleepy. But that guy, she's telling me that he's going to make it a whole nother, technically 5 years, whole nother year. Man ain't even started to go out and campaign yet. Yeah, see, and God forbid they impeach him and he has to defend that. That's really going to get ugly. You think this woman really believes that? No, she don't. So either she is preparing to be the next person they shove out there, because they're going to, at some point, they're going to ask Joe to step down. At some point, they're going to say, hey, Joe, all right, look, man, maybe you didn't notice or you forgot, but remember when we first told you we were only going to use you to get rid of Donald Trump? Remember that? No, I thought I won because I'm good. Joe, see, no, it's not because you're good, Joe. Let me play the video. Joe, now listen, you suck. We all know that. And you failed twice before, but you're the best chance we have at cheating because you're the most corrupt. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make you president. Don't look that way, Joe. You've always wanted to be president, have you? Haven't you? All right. So we're going to make you president, but only for 1 year. 1 year. That's it, Joe. Now, remember this video, Joe? No, wait. That's not me, is it? Yes, it is, Joe. How about you step down? Because that's what they need to do. Now, if they don't do it, where's Jill? Where's Dr. Jill? I cannot believe Jill is not telling Joe, listen, I had to babysit you for the first 3 years. I don't want to go through that another 4. Why ain't his family members telling him to bail out? But hey, let him go ahead, because that gives us even a better chance at whooping his tail. So here's another question for Chameleon.
The threat of a second Trump presidency seriously enough?
Oh, shoot.
I don't understand the question.
Of course you don't. You don't understand any questions.
I don't understand the question.
So here she is saying, y'all don't appear to be taking a second presidency of Trump seriously. Just like they're not taking the opinions of the people that are on their side seriously. All of their voters are saying, we don't want Joe. Now, this is the same thing that got Hillary's butt picked off. Forget the polls, man. The people love me. I'm good. We're good. I'm going to ignore half the country. Yeah, I'm going to belittle half the country. So Democrats don't care what their voters think. They tell them what to think. But now you got a loud and clear message. We don't want Joe. And that ain't just coming from us. But here she is. She's like, I'm not even going to take it seriously. You'll take it seriously when you get your butts whooped.
You were dismissive of some of the Republican criticism of you and the president. When you look at current polling, the front runner for a Republican nomination is the former president, the 45th president.
We will win the election. We will win the election. There's too much at stake, and the American people know it.
What is it that you...
Wow. Those are big words. We will win the election. How? Is it like you won it the first time? We put together the most comprehensive voter fraud program ever, and we don't need your votes now. We'll need them later after we cheat. After we win. Is that how? Because surely you can't be talking about a heads up 1-on-1. No. We will win.
believe? What week of pregnancy should abortion access?
Oh, now here's the first tough question for our new candidates that's going to be running for president. She's about to be asked a serious question that we all want to know. Not just a basic question about abortion. Now, understand, guys, this is a very sensitive topic, see. And the Democrats have made it more controversial because, see, they don't have a governor. They always go too far when it comes down to the liberalism, to the extremism, to all of that. See, they should have left it alone when it was simply, okay, you can get an abortion up to 3 or 4 months or whatever it is. But no, that wasn't good enough for them. You know what would be good? Even though there's no demand for this, even though no women out there are saying, I need more time. You know what? Maybe 9 months would help me decide. Even though no one's begging for this, let's just go ahead and try to push it out to 9 months. Now, when they did that, they opened themselves up to criticism, because what that does is it creates an image in the head of all those people in the middle who really weren't thinking about abortion. They weren't swayed one way or another. It was like, oh yeah, man, people get abortions. It's been happening for years. What? 9 months now. I can actually envision how that would look. You're talking about a full baby coming out. Who would do such a thing? Democrats. So now they put themselves in this position to have to answer this. And I do like what she starts off doing, this interviewer, because she could have just said abortion. Because see now, but now Kamala wants to just talk about abortion. She don't want to talk about the 9 months. She don't want to go to that. This question is going to force her to either admit she's okay with 9 months, third term abortion, or not. But watch her try to go ahead and be the chameleon that she is, y'all.
Cut off. We need to restore the protections of Roe versus Wade.
Was that the question?
We're not trying to do something new.
Well, that was nebulous because it was about viability, which could be anywhere between 20 to 24 weeks.
Ooh.
And
So no.
No.
Let me be fair.
No. Don't ask me that question. What's wrong with you? So watch her implement these bully tactics because she's dealing with the fake news. Now, the fake news is never aggressive with these people like they are with Republicans. If this was a Republican, I saw Ron DeSantis do an interview and they were talking about transformers and kids and stuff and all of that. A lady just going back and forth. Do you think you're going to be a white nationalist president if you win? Do you think you're going to hate gays? And do you think you're going to... And here she is. She asked her a tough question that she should be able to respond and give the people her opinion or view on it. Take a stand, lady, but watch her. One, you want us to just focus on Roe versus Wade and all that stuff. Then two, you're getting mad because she asking you to be specific.
Health Protection Act that the White House also
Let me be very clear. From
Let
day
me be very
one.
clear. Let me be very clear as I shape, shift, and change like the chameleon that I am. Watch me change colors all throughout this interview.
The president has been clear. I have been clear.
No, you haven't.
We need to put back the protections that are in Roe v. Wade into law. Since the Supreme Court took it, Congress has the power and ability to pass legislation to put those protections back in law, and Joe Biden will sign that bill. So,
how is that clear? I mean, did she forget the question? That's my question. That doesn't sound too clear to me. I asked you a specific question. So let me understand. You're taking the ACT test. They ask you that question and you go off on a tangent about Roe versus Wade. We want to know, how many months are you okay with women getting abortion? Can we push it up to 9? How many weeks? But watch this. She starts off with, let me be clear. Now, you know what happens whenever they say that. Here comes the lie or the pivot or the diversion, something like that. So when they say, let me be clear, that means they're about to be completely blurry.
that is what we want.
But does it need to be specific in terms of defining and where that guarantee goes up to?
Change colors.
And where it does not. At which week of pregnancy?
Quickly.
We need to put back in place the protections of Roe versus Wade.
You
We
know
are
why
not-
I'm asking you
but
this
I-
question,
but
though. Because
we're not trying to do anything that did not exist before June of last year. We are saying
it wasn't crafted into law. And that's why I'm asking you for the
But if-
specific.
She's uncomfortable. She can't find the right color to blend in, man. This chameleon is, all right, wait, the beige, no. Let me go with the red. No, that's a Republican. So I'm going to try to go with blue. So she's not able to blend in. She's not able to sell us on this. So what she's going to do is get mad at the question and start bullying this lady. No. You ask the questions I want you to ask, and you don't follow up and ask me other questions. You understand that? Now let me go ahead and tell you like it is. So here she is again, going back to let me be clear.
Republicans say the lack of a precise date in cutting it off. You know this. They say that allows Democrats
You're
to
killing me.
perform abortions up until, birth.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is statistically not accurate.
And it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, you see the accommodation of this interviewer, which I'm going to grant to give it to you, that it's not accurate. No, that is very accurate. See, what kind of comment do you think she would have did that with Trump? You think she would have did that with any Republican sitting down with her to come in and comfort them and say, which I'm going to give it. That's not accurate. They told me I have to ask this question, but I agree. I'm going to go ahead and side with you somehow. So there it is, which is not accurate. She surrendered her argument right there.
Ridiculous,
I
and it's a
understand
mischaracterization
So-
of the point. No,
Oh,
the
is it?
point is,
but
the
do you
point
need to
is
be
we
more
have to.
precise?
I am being precise.
By not being precise. This right here is the best they can do. You sending out this chick, this the backup quarterback. This is how she handled controversial questions. This is how she's transparent to the people. This is how precise she is. That she's not precise. You see how Democrats do the exact opposite of what they claim they're doing right in front of your face. So let me be precise. I am being precise because I just told you I don't want to answer this question. I want to focus on Roe versus Wade. Okay, so I'm being very precise about what I want you to do and what you should be asking me. But I'm not going to answer that question because then I would look like the devil that I am by being okay with third-term abortion. But now here both of them, this is ridiculous. They're just making a big hubbub of nothing. This isn't ridiculous. It doesn't even happen. It does. Well, let's see how all the Democrats feel about it since she's claiming it's ridiculous.
We need to put into law the protections of Roe versus Wade.
The problem with this bill is not that it makes anything, that it provides any new protection for infants.
Whoa. Y'all ready for Bad Body Nadler? Y'all ready for the penguin? So here this dude up there that probably should be retired as well, trying to justify why this law, I guess this bill that will prevent third-term abortion is bad. It's bad. Now you ready for some liberal logic? Some belittling of all kind of intelligence. Let's check out this man's reasoning.
The problem with this bill is that it endangers some infants by stating that that infant must immediately be brought to the hospital, where, depending on the circumstances, that may be the right thing to do for the health and survival of that infant.
Unbelievable. This is why Democrats do not like to debate about their policies. Because this is what you get. How are you going to defend third-term abortion? So here's Bad Body Nadler. Said the problem with this bill, now understand his logic, is that sending the infants to the hospital to get medical care could endanger them. Could endanger them. There you go. Forget the fact that you tried to kill the infant off grip and the infant survived somehow. Survived, okay? So survived one murder attempt. Then what happens? They want to take the kid to the hospital and you say, no, don't do that. It could be dangerous to the infant's health. This man's trying to suggest leaving the baby where it's at to perish. That's what he's really suggesting. But he's trying to get us to believe that no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying by taking the baby to the hospital and giving the baby the best chance of survival with medical care could, as a result, endanger the baby's life that was already in danger when they tried to abort the baby and it was a botched abortion. Liberal logic. Democrats, man. And people vote for these people. You believe that? I'm surprised it's come out. The problem with this bill is it's racist and it's fascist and, the sexist.
Or it may not. That is the problem with this bill. It directs and mandates a certain medical care which may not be appropriate, which may be endanger the life of an infant in certain...
This is remarkable. Remarkable. Did you hear the penguin? Now, I know in his mind, he's like, I cannot even believe I'm trying to sell to people on this one. This is unbelievable, Jerry. You reached a new low. Okay. You're lower than your stomach. It's sagging right now. So this man is telling you that trying to provide medical care to the kid, mandating that the infant who survived a botched abortion, mandating that kid to go to the hospital for medical care could endanger the kid's life. Now, what this man is really saying is lead a kid in there to perish. So without the medical care, the kid stands no chance. None. But yet this dude's saying, but that's endangering the kid's life by giving him a shot. This is liberal logic. Do their voters pay attention to stuff like this? Do they even hear what they're saying? Can they comprehend the gaslighting and the garbage that just came out of this man's mouth? Even if you're okay with abortion and you don't want 9-month abortion, This should be a problem when you're listening to these evil, corrupt people for some reason who is obsessed with allowing abortion up to 9 months and beyond. So here's some more of them.
Circumstances. That's why we oppose this bill.
So nail down for me then, how do you define, because up till now, my understanding is there wasn't a limit on when in a pregnancy a woman could receive an abortion. Have you set any limit?
There are no limits.
No
So
limits?
For us,
That's very controversial.
There's no limits when it comes down to everything with the Democrats. No limits to how many illegals could come in. No limit to the amount of money we send over there to Ukraine. No limits on how late you can get an abortion. These folks have no governor. So now here this woman is, no limits. No limits. And yet we just heard Chameleon Kamala say, that's ridiculous, the Republicans and their exaggeration.
It can be. I mean, look, it's the 1% of all abortions, and that's still a sizable number of abortions worldwide.
1% over 21 weeks of pregnancy.
Correct.
Do you support any restrictions on abortion?
I don't. I've always
Even
believed,
in the third trimester?
I believe that choice is between a woman, her doctor, and a God if she prays to one.
I don't think there's any restrictions. And here's another evil tactic. Kick it out to the doctor and the woman. I believe that's a decision between a woman and her doctor. This way it gets me off the hook. See, but yet at the same time, go get that shot. Okay, that's not your choice. It's not up to you and your doctor. You go get it. Here's another one, Governor Blackface.
What Virginia's governor did say.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mothers.
About
He's
what?
announced his strong
About what? Governor Blackface? About what? That interview right there is what alerted the world to what the Democrats were up to. And people said, whoa, man, that wasn't even on my radar. I wasn't thinking about no dang on abortion, but 9 months. And then I saw them celebrating up there in New York. Whole bunch of serious feminists, butch haircuts. Probably like, I never wanted to have kids anyway, so I'm going to make sure nobody else has them. That's what I'm going to do. So, here's Raggedy Patty.
Support for passage of the Women's Health Protection Act urges Congress to pass it.
President Kamala Harris the best running mate for this president?
See?
He thinks so. And
So now we heard Chameleon's work. We heard Chameleon get out there and do what she does best. Divert, change colors, pivot, all that stuff. And then there's Nancy Pelosi. Let's see how the people feel about Nancy's view on Chameleon.
And that's what matters.
A few moments later.
Be very careful, President Biden, about getting rid of Kamala Harris because we will not support you.
Wait.
Because Sonny speaks for all black people. You didn't know that? So let's hear why Sonny's upset. And the chickens and hens here on their viewers are going to start clucking at each other. We're about to see a big chicken fight going on.
Say, Nancy Pelosi is incredibly politically astute, so I was a little surprised she didn't answer that question better. To me, that is a right out of the park for the Democrats to say, of course, she's a phenomenal vice president, they're our ticket. That waffling with all of the innuendo that's out there, the pieces that have been written saying that she's a lag on the ticket, that gets filled with...
Because she couldn't answer that question. Because, there's that point of line where you can, God dog it, man, we know we're going to try to get rid of him and her. And I can't commit to really saying, we love her. She's great. So how can I balance this out? Because, see, we done spent so much time praising her because she was black and a woman. Now we're trying to figure out how to get rid of her. Okay, let me go with the happy medium. Well, Joe Biden likes her. And by the way, she won when she was at 6%. And, she's the vice president, isn't she? Let's go with that. So she couldn't answer it like this woman's describing it.
Because I know we have some caution over the polls, she's consistently lagged in approval behind Joe Biden. It's a fact. She polls lower than Pence did at this time. He's historically unfavorable. He's comparable to Jimmy Carter in the malaise era when he didn't win re-election. So I think Democrats' message, which is a smart one, is the future of the American Republic is on the line if it's against Donald Trump. But it's really hard to convince the public the oldest president in history and one of the most unpopular vice presidents is the strongest way to be.
Yeah, that's a hard sell. But first of all, this so-called Republican says the future of America is in jeopardy by Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? No, it's in jeopardy by the people who are currently running the country. The Chameleon and the creep. Here she is talking about that. So now let's hear the rest of them try to cluck in with their opinion.
He also was one of the most effective presidents we've had.
I would love to get Democrats less airtime, but see, they give us so much material. Plus, we got to know what they're thinking. We got to know what they're up to so we can combat it and expose their corruption. That's right. So, yeah, they walk right into this one. Here it is. Now, you see the dummy? You see the dummy on the screen? Toucan saying, here it comes.
Quickly, over the past 5 elections where you've had a Democrat win, they needed the black vote. 91% of African Americans voted for Biden and will continue to vote for Biden if Kamala is his running mate. I would be very careful, President Biden, about getting rid of Kamala Harris because we will not support you.
Wait.
Whoopi don't like it.
No, your opinion is valid and beautiful and all of that. But when was the last time you saw anybody get rid of a vice president?
Nobody does.
If there was ever a time to get rid of one, it's now. It's now. Because Kamala Chameleon also created a first when she went negative in regards to her popularity. Okay, she was like negative 18. So if there's ever a reason to get rid of a vice president, this would be it. But nonetheless, Whoopi's upset because, see, Whoopi's more committed to the Democrat Party than anything else. In fact, all of them are. Now, Sunny burns me up because she acts as if she's smug and got the answers, and she also just knows the heart of black folks. There you go. We know the heart of black folks. And let me tell you something, because look at the smugness, too. Let me tell you something. If they get rid of her, black folks, we ain't supporting that mess. Do you speak for me? Who is this woman who speaks for me as if I needed her to? So let's continue.
I think it's a lot of Washington speculation.
No, it's not something you would
do. If it was Biden and Trump.
If Biden gets rid of Kamala Harris and inserts someone else, he will lose the black vote.
Even if it's another black woman like Val
We're not interchangeable.
But regardless,
we're not interchangeable.
No one's saying you are.
Do you hear that crowd? Yes, Sonny, you're right. How about they get rid of her and lose the black vote that we don't want them to vote anyway, and then gain the black votes of all of us students then switch? Yes, Sonny, you're right. Continue to tell black people, if they get rid of Kamala, don't vote for Biden. Please do. Please tell the black folks that are still under the spell to go that route. All right? Because the rest of us would be like, okay, that we're done with them, so let's go ahead and vote. So thank you, Sonny, for that. But even though Sonny don't know what the heck she's talking about. But then the bad bootleg Republican who comes in and says, well, what if they switch him out with a black? Basically what she's saying is, hey, we're not looking for a good qualified vice president anyway. We're looking for a black one, a black woman. Because that should be the sum total of why black people vote for the president or vice president anyway. Yeah, as long as it's a black woman in there.
You would vote in an election against Donald Trump and Joe Biden and a black woman, you wouldn't vote?
I think that but
I want to know the answer.
I don't want to white-splain, but you might be underestimating the black community voter.
I don't think I am.
You see that smugness? I don't think I am. And yes, you know what, Joy Behar, you're underestimating the black voters because guess what? Maybe you haven't been paying attention, but black people are leaving the Democrat Party. And so here she is talking about maybe, So here she is trying to explain, white-splain, which is stupid, but white-splain to Sonny that maybe you're underestimating the black voter. She is under the assumption that all black people are going to go out and vote for Creepy and Chameleon. So now she's also underestimating the black voters. But here she is trying to school Sonny, and then Sonny smugly says, I don't think I am, which she also is underestimating the black voters because she think that, hey, man, if they get rid of Chameleon, do you think black folks love Chameleon Harris? I mean, I have not heard, I can't think of any personal black people I know, just like, man, Kamala the bomb. She's the best thing going, man. I'm telling you, they all think she sucks. But not Sonny.
sit out. You said I was throwing my vote away if I wrote in another Republican.
I don't.
But you're not throwing away your vote by not supporting Biden if he drops.
I'm sorry, y'all. She's not going anywhere. Let's start with that. So this is a lot of hypothetical BS meant to make your mind explode.
Is it cushion?
That's why we chose the topic. Let Sarah talk.
Now, wait until you hear how this woman justifies another 4 years with the worst president and vice president of all time.
Okay, one thing I've been thinking a lot about is I wish we lived in a time where we could have fair criticisms of a president. I'm a fan of President Biden. I voted for him. Do I think he's the best ever? No.
You can't do that.
Vice President Harris, I have criticisms. Everyone, when we talk about that, are reduced to being a woman or being black, which I think there are conversations we can actually have about this.
Because y'all did that. Because y'all inserted this into our society as a defense mechanism against your horrible policies and bad performance. See, so instead of addressing issues and presenting policies, what do y'all say? Well, if you're criticizing me, it's because I'm a woman. That's because I'm black. Y'all did this to our society. So don't be whining about it now. And then she says this.
But right now, it's a privilege to discuss the alternative, which what I mean by that is if you are up against Donald Trump, Biden and Vice President Harris are my only option. And if we survived President Trump once, we can survive President Biden, Vice President Harris, and we will be fine. And then the election will end and the people will speak again. There you go.
Do you hear this? You hear that? These people right here, a lot of them, sometimes I think they know it's bullcrap. But then when I hear something like that, I say, wow, that would only come out of a completely delusional, well-off, upper-class citizen who don't understand the pain that has been inflicted upon our society by this current administration. She also don't understand how prosperous everybody was doing under Trump. So what do you mean we survived it? What was the survival that we had to go through? Where was the pain at? Please tell me. What are you talking about? Give me examples. Were people's rights being rolled back? Were people being thrown in jail like they are now for nothing? Huh? That's what I want to know. Huh? Were we at war? Messing around over there with Pootie and all of that stuff? No? Okay. Was the economy booming? Oh, it was great. Okay. Was jobs coming back? Ooh, that was painful. Who wants jobs to come back to America? This is ridiculous, but that is in her mind. That's her interpretation of Trump's administration in the 4 years that we had under him. And you can go back and logically, rationally, and statistically prove that life was better under Trump. And she said, oh, we survived it. And so therefore, we will take another 4 years of Joe running around talking about Grandpa Finnegan and Kamala talking about something. You're going to see the moon. We'll take another 4 years of that. So we don't have to go into another 4 years of surviving Trump. What a complete idiot. And speaking of idiots, we're going to close out with this new attempt. They recycle all of their tactics when it comes down to Democrats and the fake news. See, so I've told you all the acronym to the word FEAR, false evidence appearing real. And they recycle the fear as if their voters or viewers never experienced the lie before. They make sure that they're not able to make the connection like they told us this the first 4 years. And did it happen? No. Oh, but I'm sure this time it's really going to happen. So y'all remember they tried this the first 4 years. If Trump wins, he's going to become a dictator and he's going to be a tyrant and he's going to abuse his power and stuff like that. He's not leaving the Oval Office. All of that was to scare people that we were going right into dictatorship mode. So I got these clips that I put together. And if you haven't seen the video I did today, you're going to see smidgets of it tonight as we close out by this man who also tried to do this along with the fake news. So here's the latest tactic, y'all. The latest fear tactic, okay, what is in vogue right now is Trump and the Republicans are about to implement tyranny. That's what they're about to do. So let's check it out. Here we go. Starting off with the mad cat.
The election means one of two things if this is the way he's going to approach it. Either he loses the election and he goes to prison, or he wins the election, he doesn't go to prison, and is that for life? That he gets to be president? Will we keep having more elections or no? If every election is a new opportunity for him to go to prison, do you think he allows us to have new elections? I mean, if those those are the stakes. If winning the election is his plan to stay out of prison, what happens in that election if and when he does not win it?
You hear this demon? Yeah, I'm going to call her a demon. You hear her with that nose hanging over to the left? She is really suggesting to her audience that if Trump wins, he might just set himself up as the president for everything, forever. That's right. Now I'm here. I won't be leaving ever. I'm now the ruler of America forever. Unbelievable that she would get on TV. Now, do you understand the level of propaganda that's coming out of these people by suggesting this? I mean, they're not pumping the brakes. They are trying to really convince adults that have to be completely susceptible to this type of manipulation, that Trump is a threat to the country. If we mess around and let this man win, he may never leave. He's going to get rid of elections and everything. What kind of evil is this?
Does that kind of an election end with a graceful concession to a fair and square re-elected President Biden? I mean, if Trump and his supporters see the stakes as losing and going to prison or winning and being president, and probably president for life, how should we expect that he and the Republican Party and Republican officials in swing states are going to handle the conduct of that election?
Now, this is fear to the umpteenth power. So now she's suggesting that if probably president for life. What? Where's she getting this from? Just straight up, like, you know what? I'm going to go to 100% fear. 100%. You know, we can't convince these people based on the actual data, the gas prices, the inflation, all the things that they're really suffering from in real life. So what I'm going to do is introduce a concept that is so far stretched to make these people overlook their basic needs and their condition and say, what? This man's trying to take over the country and be a dictator forever. He's going to get rid of elections. This is like scaring your kids with a nighttime story. This is how paper thin this fear tactic is from her. She's telling us a bedtime story right now, a nightmare story. That's what she's doing. Yeah, did you know Donald Trump was evil? He was born many years ago from a jackal. And then he grew up and decided he was going to take over the world, kids. And people believe this? Unreal.
That Trump may very well lose. And because we are prone to forget, we have to say out loud, that we would be remiss, we would be willfully naive to ask that question as if our politics exists in a vacuum, somewhere outside the rest of our news. As if the politics pages are totally different than the crime pages, right? As if we are...
Who wrote this bedtime story? Who wrote this scary story that she's reading to her audience? Now she's bringing all the people in. She's trying to tell them that, listen, if we cheat again, basically, because you know Joe ain't going to win. But really what she's saying, they're lying about it. If Joe wins again and you think Trump people are really going to stand for this, all of the violence, everything, the whole world is going to collapse because we're going to cheat? Is that what you're saying? Because that's the only way that Joe is going to win. But she won't tell her audience that. What she's suggesting is that if they somehow win, Trump and the rest of us, you know, we're just going to go ahead and do what again?
Not in a moment where far-right politics is coincident with far-right violence, with regular shows of force from paramilitary extreme right groups, and with acts of violence by people who are explicitly and admittedly motivated by far-right eliminationist political ideas.
This is unbelievable. I mean, it's almost surreal that came out of her mouth. Now, I could unpack it, but I'm running out of time, y'all. Would y'all give me about 10 more minutes? I'm almost done. This woman right here has to be getting her information from the FBI, CIA, because notice, they're allowing and supporting this theme that this far extreme violence is coming from the right. See, she wouldn't be able to get out there and say stupid mess like this if we didn't see garlic, we didn't see dang on Mucus and Raggedy Ray and all of them, if we didn't have whistleblowers getting out there and saying, yes, there is a hidden motive that these folks are doing to try to make it seem like far extreme right violence is on the rise and stuff like this. So this way, we can send people like that out to go ahead and push the lies out there without being contested. So now, all you can use is what? Your own eyes and observation. Where's all the video footage of the far right extremist violence that's taking place? Because I can give you about a 35-minute reel of left-wing violence easily. And that's 35 minutes of me just doing a quick search. And yes, she's talking about the right-wing violence. So now, not only is she trying to gaslight her people to think that Trump is about to take over the whole country and declare himself king, but then she comes right back and say everybody who supports him, these Trump supporters, these MAGA folks, these folks right here are dangerous to our society. So this way, if Biden wins or the Democrats cheat, then what are we going to do? Now we'll have our FBI and our intel community and our DOJ target all of these folks who won't be obedient to our brainwashing and stuff like that.
Evening from New York. I'm Chris.
Another one.
Lots of developments today across different branches of our government, but
they're all using the same narrative. Trump's about to become a dictator. Now, where's this coming from? See, so now here comes another bedtime story.
The single through line, the attempt by Donald Trump to use his loyalists in those branches to destroy the rule of law. Trump is, as I keep saying, a uniquely malevolent figure. He nearly upended our democracy. And while he's
he almost upended our democracy. When was that? When was that? I saw him get on Marine One and bounce. He didn't sit up there on the balcony with a Rambo M60 talking about, y'all Jew first blood. He didn't do that. He got on Marine One and left. What are you talking about, dude? These are all CIA intel plants right here. This man straight up said he almost overthrew our democracy once.
Office for nearly 3 years, he still crucially controls one of our two major political parties, and many of the people he appointed remain in positions of power. And he's counting on them to carry out what is essentially an authoritarian plot. He is attempting
authoritarian plot. See, there it is. There it is. See, this is the latest tactic. Didn't they try this one before? Didn't they do that in 2016? And people bought it because Trump was supposed to send us black folks back to Africa. And he's supposed to round up all of the legal immigrants, not the illegal ones, the legal ones, and take them out of the country and stuff because he was trying to make America white again. And then he was going to set up the KKK flag right at the White House and all of that stuff. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Okay, but now we're going to recycle this narrative. Recycling it. So Trump now is about to set up an authoritarian the system and all of this versus the one that's already in place. The one that we're looking at every single day. Man, these people.
Total war against not only his political opponent, Joe Biden, but also against the force of law itself, against the actual constitutional structure of this country. He wants them, those folks throughout the government, to finish the job that he started on January 6th.
Wow. Wow. So Raggedy Ray or whomever or Mayor Garlick or somebody or Nancy Pelosi start calling all these people and said, okay, Operation Fear. Once again, I know we have to recycle our narratives, but our bubbleheads won't catch it anyway. So now we'll tell them the same thing, that Trump is going to take over the country and white extremism is on the rise. And these people get straight out there and they say something that sounds like a nightmare story. That's what we're doing. We're sitting here telling the kids, y'all better go to sleep or else Trump, that means even Trump's going to come out the closet and get you. And grown-ups are falling for this. And to finish it up, if you didn't see my video that I did yesterday and uploaded this morning about this guy, he must have gotten his dang on talking points too, because all of them seem to just miraculously come up with this idea that Trump, his real goal and objective is to become a tyrant.
Let's go back to the plan for Republicans to install a dictator in the Oval Office in January of 2025. Whoa. Republicans have this plan regardless of who is their nominee. And if they win in 2024, there are two particularly pernicious elements to this. Number one is that while Republicans may be a little more tight-lipped about the desire to install a dictator, Donald Trump is being very forthcoming about it.
Man, please go back and watch my video about this guy. I get in depth about him. This man just said the Republicans are about to install a dictator. There you go. But they're trying to be discreet about it. Unlike the one that has been installed, but really ain't the dictator. It's the regime. It's these holdovers. It's all of these people that is controlling and operating underneath this so-called dictator, which is a figurehead they already installed. Now he's trying to flip all of this to his audience and watch how transparently corrupt and evil this liar right here is.
Donald Trump is saying, I will be a dictator if you vote for me in November of 2024.
Anybody hear that in any of his speeches? Anybody? No? Okay, here we go.
But when Donald Trump does do it, when Donald Trump does say it, Republicans cheer. And so there is...
Well, I don't recall hearing Trump say, you know what, when y'all vote me in, or I'm sorry, when y'all install me in 2024, I'm going to become a dictator. And we all go, that's what I'm talking about. What is this, man? This is full-blown lies. Full-blown lies. Fear. False evidence appearing real. This man has 1.89 million subscribers. And the last I checked, that video that I took these clips from, 177,000 views coming out of this guy right here. He's getting all that airtime out to a whole bunch of people who wants to hear the nightmare story. Tell us a story about Donald Trump and he's going to take over the whole country and then he's going to... They want to hear this mess. So let's finish hearing his story.
There's a sort of two-tiered approach here. There is an undergirding of sorts, a foundation of this dictatorial pipe dream of sorts that comes from the Republican establishment.
School us.
But then you also have Donald Trump publicly saying things like the following, which he said in South Dakota over the weekend. We looked at this clip yesterday. I'll play it again here.
Now, what's amazing about what you're about to hear, if you didn't see my video, this man actually is going to play the clip for his audience. Now, understand, after watching this clip, you would have to know nothing about context, comprehension, English, nothing about it to draw the conclusion that this man is going to conclude. He would have been better off not playing the clip, but basically the clip is going to destroy the man's whole argument. But after you watch it, or his audience watched it, he came right up after that and told him, this is what this meant. Now, how can you come to the conclusion after hearing this?
Donald Trump straight up saying, if I win, I will just call the attorney general
That's what
and
he said.
say,
Let's hear
indict
it.
this
I
person,
want to hear this.
indict that person.
Here we go.
91 fake and phony charges, 91.
Okay.
How many charges are there? But we're going to ask for dismissals of a lot of it.
So far, so good, right?
You ask for dismissal. It's called dismiss the charges. Okay. But remember, it's a Democrat charging his opponent. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
No,
that means that if I win.
Now, wait. Y'all hear that? Nobody ever seen anything like it. Now, understand we're still in there. I got to do an English lesson. Right now, the context, who is he talking about? Who's the subject of the story? The Democrats that are abusing their power and charging Trump with all these unnecessary, stupid charges and indictments. So remember, that's who he's talking about right now, okay? And then he goes, what that means is, that means he's still talking about them, right? Everybody understand that? So he's now going to explain what it looks like in a real life scenario. Here it comes.
And somebody wants to run against me. I call my attorney general. I say, listen, indict him. Well, he hasn't done anything wrong that we know. But I don't know. Indict him on income tax evasion. You'll figure it out.
Now, what is he describing? He's describing what's being done to him right now. He's describing how reckless and evil the current administration and the DOJ and all of these prosecutors are. They're simply saying, you know what? Let's go ahead and indict Trump. For what? I don't know. Figure it out. Say Stormy Daniels. What else we can say? The monuments. Let's go ahead and come up with anything. We'll figure it out on the back end. So what is he doing? He's joking about how reckless, how dangerous, and how much they are abusing their power right now. He's describing what's being done to him right now. And all he did was just simply inserted himself in it. So basically said, well, I mean, what this would mean, now he's still talking about them, what this would mean in real life, how it would look in real life would be like me just simply waking up and saying, hey, go ahead and indict my opponent that I'm going against. And they say, but why? Now he's jokingly saying, I don't know, make it up. You think he's talking about himself? Oh, God. But this guy who got 1.8 million subscribers is about to say what we just heard means something totally different.
And you know, the good thing with me is I have a big voice and people know me, and you know me for a long time. But people know me and I'm able to speak. But if you're a regular politician, a really good politician, an honest politician, and you get indicted, you get a subpoena, and that gets reported in the paper and the news, You have to leave office. And the Republicans in the Senate and the Republicans in the House cannot let this go on because
what?
People are being destroyed.
There you go. So
there you go. So there you go. Yeah, he didn't want that. He didn't want to talk about the lives that are being destroyed by the current administration going after their political opponents. He didn't want that to be heard. See, so now what this dude just did is played a clip. Now you saw Trump immediately go back to his subject right after he gave the example. All that was an example. Goes right back to his subject and says, this is bad. It needs to stop. Republicans must stop it because people are being hurt. Now, do you think he's talking about himself? Does it sound as if Trump wanted to take this same application, this same situation that's happening to him right now, and say, now I'm going to take that and implement it when I become president? But listen to what this dumb dude says right here.
Donald Trump openly saying he is going to just say, indict this person, indict that person. There's a very interesting CNN article from Stephen Collinson written yesterday called Trump is explaining exactly how wild and extreme his second term would be. I don't have to read the article to you, but
fear, false evidence. I gotta push it down. Did you see what this guy just did? This is amazing. And yet I can't even pop 3 or 4,000 views on a video. This dude right here, you hear what he just did? So either he's extremely dumb, never went to school, has no idea. Could you read that paragraph for me and tell me what it means? Well, yeah, that means that the cow flew over the moon. Well, how did you get that? Because there was a cow in it and in the story and it mentions the moon. But it never said anything about the cow going over the moon. Yes, but that's why my interpretation. That man just listened to the same thing we just heard. And just straight after that, how belittling is this to your intelligence that he said, see, there you go. Donald Trump just said, if he becomes president, he's going to go after his political opponents and throw them in jail. This is amazing. But it's also amazing that so many people listen to that mess and probably is like, yeah, that's exactly what he said.
But suffice it to say, it goes through in quite a bit of detail Donald Trump's justification for the fact that he is going to become a one-man wrecking crew that some of us might call a wannabe dictator. And the justification is things are so bad. It's a dark time for the United States. It used to be great. It's no longer great. You need me to make it great. And the way I'm going to do that includes by going after my political enemies. And
y'all hear that? That's what he took away from that. He drew those conclusions. So because Donald Trump said things are so bad, this is how he's going to do it, y'all. He's going to tell all of these extremist MAGA folks who they can't recognize how bad things are on their own. See, they can't recognize it because, see, Donald Trump's about to download the matrix in their head. No, we don't live off of that. We live off of reality. We see what's going on. We're not Democrats. We're not sitting back going, I don't see any of the evidence of what these politicians and propagandists are telling us, but I'm going to believe it anyway. I'm going to buy in to a whole reality that I'm not seeing in front of my eyes. We're not like that. We're not running around saying these folks are trying to unexist us and they hate kids because they don't want the kids to be trans. And then, you know what? Racism is running rampant. We're not running around doing that. But what we're running around doing is saying we see the evidence of this man saying, get the shot. We see the evidence of these people letting all kind of people come through our border. We see the evidence that the whistleblowers are presenting. We're seeing the documents that these dudes in the FBI and the DOJ are putting together to go after us. We see them targeting conservatives, going after conservatives, locking conservatives up, and making sure they get crazy sentences for nothing. We see 4 indictments that came down on Trump that is garbage. So we're not sitting here listening to Trump and say, well, I never saw any of those things until Trump told us. We see them with our own eyeballs. This dude is creating a false reality in the heads of every single subscriber that he has. They can't even go out and point to the stuff that he's about to say.
Getting them indicted and arrested. So there are 2 layers here, and this is the takeaway once again.
Layers of lies.
It is bigger than Trump's plan to become a dictator. It is Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, many Republicans who plan to install a dictator no matter which Republican nominee is ultimately the nominee, and certainly if they win. The election of Donald Trump was a triumph reads the Heritage Foundation website.
Y'all ready for another horrific interpretation? I got to give an English lesson to this dude right here. So now he's reading or quoting something from some Republican journal or something where they're talking about Trump's victory was a triumph and we need Trump to come back in to do what?
Triumph that offered the best chance to reverse the left's incessant march of progress.
Incessant march of progress. Now, watch what he does with this definition of progress. He makes it seem as if that article is saying that the progress that the left has made is good. He's going to suggest that when they were talking about Trump can stop the excessive progress of the left, he's referring to that progress in the good context. Progress can be good or bad. I've seen people make some horrific progress. If your intentions are to tear something up and you start tearing it up, you're making progress. It's not good progress, but this dude wants his audience to believe that us conservatives recognize how wonderfully the left is doing and all the wonderful ideas and policies that they've implemented and how great life is, but we don't like it, so we're going to tear it down.
They are straight up saying it. The left has made progress. Donald Trump's presidency gave us a chance to reverse it. They are not going to waste this opportunity if they get Trump or whoever.
Now, how about that? Either he's extremely arrogant or extremely dumb or extremely deceptive. And I'm saying all three. This man wants people to believe that we're referring to good progress, even though prior to these folks obtaining power, we talked about, hey, if these dudes get in, the border's going to be wide open. When these dudes get in, they're bringing in socialism. When these dudes get in, they're going to persecute their political enemies. All of that. We never once mentioned good progress coming out of these people. The whole thing is we feared what the left would do if they acquired power. And guess what? They did it. Everything Trump said that they would do, everything we thought that they would do, they've exceeded it. So what kind of progress you think is in our head? We're talking about the progress that we feared would take place. Negative progress. But he wants his audience to think we're talking about the good progress. What good progress? If it was good, you wouldn't have all the negative polls that's coming out saying everybody thinks life is worse since Joe Biden and them took over. But he's going to go ahead and be arrogant enough to think whenever you're progress, that means it's good because we're making great progress.
Whoever elected in November of 2024. This is one of the most disturbing political movements in American history, certainly in the last 100 years. And it's two parts. It's
Boy, I tell you, man, the projection and the propaganda, we're at the most dangerous time in our history. This right now is the most disturbing political movement in our history. When you got a president that has ordered his DOJ or whatever to indict this man 4 times, maybe going on 5. Impeached him twice for nothing. Going after all of his voters, anybody who supported him. This right here is what this man is describing that he thinks Trump and the rest of us are going to implement if they win power. So what is he doing, y'all? He's telling everybody a bedtime nightmare story. That's what he's doing. He's creating a false reality in the heads of his viewers that is a real reality that is taking place right now by the people he claims is making progress. I hate to have to read him like that. I'm sorry, I'm 18 minutes over.
MAGA, which has weaponized and debased the Republican Party. If Trump were less incompetent, he could have achieved even more destructive things. The Heritage Foundation Project 20...
What disruptive things? This sounds like the dummy we heard from The View. Talking about if we survive Trump when he was so horrible, we can take him, Kamala. What was so horrible about that? What destructive things is this bum referring to? Somebody dump me out of a big sack right onto his set so I can go berserk on him. Not physically. I want to put that out there because, see, this guy right here, if he hears this, he's not able to comprehend that when I say berserk, I'm not meaning physical violence. I'm meaning a serious debate and discussion. So you got to dummy proof it for this guy or propaganda proof it.
2025 in concert with all of these other characters and this plan that they are putting in place around Trump or whoever, that is the reduction in incompetence that we've been afraid of. And by the way, they'll roll back women's rights further. The EPA they want to get rid of, roll back environmental restrictions.
Just throwing anything, gumbo of fear, throwing it all in there. Y'all see this? This is how the left operates. Yeah, we're not going to provide any proof about this. We're going to be very vague about it and just say, hey, man, look, man, if these dudes get in, man, it's going to be World War III. They're going to do all this and this and that. We have proof that everything we suggested or believed that these folks would do, they're doing. But here, this guy, none of these things are true. But listen what he does, because he's taking advantage of his audience that is misinformed, and they just sitting back saying, yes, feed me Seymour.
Roll back environmental restrictions.
All of that. What else? They go down your list of fear tactics. See, recycle.
They'll roll back women's rights further.
Women's rights further. Women, anybody out there feel like your rights have been rolled back? Huh? No? Okay. What other rights?
The EPA they want to get rid of. Roll back environmental restrictions.
There you go. For no reason. We're going to get rid of EPA environmental restrictions. Not to bring back jobs. Not to free up our economy. Not because we got the best, cleanest energy around the globe, and China and India and the rest of the world is dumping all of the pollution in the air, and we ain't going to make no difference. So why are we destroying our country? Not because of that. It's because we're just going to do it because we hate the environment and we want to destroy the planet.
Restrictions and regulations, whatever. Censor LGBT and people of color, their history.
Censor LGBT and people of color. Are you referring to the nasty books that y'all want to shove down the throats of kids, which should be censored? Are you referring to that? But you won't tell your audience that, you little bum, pencil neck dude. You see this dude? Makes me mad listening to him. So here this guy's out here talking about that, censor LGBT. We don't care what these people talk about. We just don't want that mess in the schools. But yeah, they're censor. And they're going to lie about black people. We're getting rid of black people's history and lying to all lies and fear tactics.
History, their existence.
Their existence. What the heck? Man, I know he's making a crap load of money off his channel, but good grief. Pump the brakes a little bit, man. On the scare. You scaring all the kids. Kids ain't going to be able to sleep. Be up all night like, oh, God, they're going to make black people all exist? This is crazy. Can you believe this dude is saying this?
Through Don't Say Gay and book bans and all of these other things.
All proven to be lies.
It's such a long list, we can't even...
A list of lies, fabrications, and fear tactics. That's why. And that's what they major in, y'all. It's crazy, man.
Go through it right now. This is extremely dangerous. At least we know about it. If we want to find the silver lining here, it's at least... if they were trying to do it in secret, which it's not in secret because there's a website about this Project 2025, but if they...
So wait, why are we doing it in the open? That's my question. If they're trying to, but they're not doing it in secret. So let me get this straight. All the things that man just mentioned, we're dumb enough to go ahead and put it on the website and say, that's right. We are going to implement a dictatorship. And then once we do that, we're getting rid of women's rights. We're definitely going to make sure black people unexist. Then we're going to censor gays. And we're going to destroy the planet by taking away all restrictions. That's right. We're going to do everything this propagandist just said. And we're going to become a dictatorship. That's right on our website. If you have any more questions, visit www.we'retakinovertheworld.com. That's what this man has just tried to say to his audience. Now, watch this. All of this is designed for one climax. Y'all ready for that punchline? All of this fear tactic is designed to do just what your parent would do when you didn't want to act right. The boogeyman gonna get your butt if you don't do something I just told you to do.
We're trying to do it subtly or only notify their followers about it. We know about it. We know about it, and we know what the stakes are. Let's just hope people vote.
There you go. Go out and vote, because we done told y'all Trump's taking over the world. Okay, we done told y'all he's rolling back women's rights. What else y'all need to know? Okay, so you don't want to vote for him? Okay, how about this? He's about to erase black people. Yeah, that's not good enough for you? Oh, well, he's going to destroy the environment. Y'all didn't know that? All of that, all of everything you just heard coming out of these people are designed for one thing only, to frighten and scare the crap out of their citizens, to make them compromise common sense, reality, all of that, and say, let me make an impulsive, irrational decision based on false evidence that they made appear real in my head. And by the time I come to my senses and realize they manipulated me, I will be stuck with Creepy, Sleepy, and the Crackhead and Chameleon Kamala, wondering how did we get them? Because you bought into the nightmare bedtime story of these bums. Now, I hated to have to do this to them. Made me have to go over my time. Man, I said 7 to 8, y'all. I don't want to be known as one that stretches the truth when it comes down. I'm going to try to stick to an hour, but it bubbled up on the inside. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Burns me up, man, because, see, it works on so many people. And it's frustrating when you see the effort that they put in to stop folks that combat this mess from reaching folks that support this mess. I guarantee you, if his audience watched my video exposing this dude, they might stop and say, yeah, that didn't matter. I can't believe I missed that. See, so God bless y'all. Spread my videos, spread the word, all that stuff. Thank you for supporting my channel. Don't forget, if you, I'm measuring it in 30-day increments. So my whole fundraising thing, I don't know how many more days we got, but if you get a chance throughout this, the next, I think maybe like 26 days or so, 25 days. If you want to support the channel, the link is right below the description, in the top of the description box, right below this video. Click on it, and, you know, like I told people last night, $5 is great. However, you're not limited to 5. I'm just saying. But yes, you know, I got a goal in my head that will make me feel comfortable being able to get up here and punch these narratives in the face and not have to worry about YouTube punching me in the face. See, that's my goal. That's why I'm doing this. So if you guys can help, that'd be great. So I can be free of the big old guillotine they try to hang over my neck. Now, follow me on the other platforms. Don't forget, subscribe to my text message chain by texting MAGA to this number, 330-974-4607, and text the word MAGA. I will confirm. I'm getting through the rest of them because I'm getting them coming in, man. I'm getting them coming in. So I will confirm at some point that you are now at Kevin's Corner. Okay. And then subscribe to my alternative channel, which I actually typed in the chat. So if you get a chance, go ahead and subscribe to that just in case something go on. Some real unexisting takes place where they get rid of me over here. And let's see, I think that might be it. Yeah. Oh, and all these are converted into podcasts. So whatever podcast platform you listen to, you probably can find me on there if you just type in Kevin's Corner, and you can enjoy the melodious sounds of my voice while you're driving. All right. So God bless y'all. God bless America, man. Let's get out of here after hearing all of that bull crap. Ooh, the boogeyman's going to get y'all. Go out and vote for Democrats. Unbelievable, these people. Burns me up. Give me my man hat. I ain't scared, even though they giving us all of this garbage. Awesome. Got it. Round y'all folks. I know you see the apes. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. Dang, got it. See y'all next time. Kevin's Corner. Take care.